Three, two, one, and we are live. Hello, welcome everybody to VRChat. A pleasure you tuning in. I'm excited to share with you a topic that has been recently becoming even more serious to me. So the first thing when getting invited to talk about virtual worlds and in the bigger topic of LGBTQ pride and everything coming up, the first thing that came to my mind is relationships of avatars and personality in virtual reality, because diving in here, this creates so much different. But enough of that. I have two beautiful friends of mine here that can share more about that. I'm very pleased to introduce you, Ultimate Engineer and Strawberry Potato. Might you briefly introduce yourself and what you're mainly doing in here? Ultimate.
Okay. Yeah, just mostly hang out with friends. Like, not much to it. Besides that, I'm going to party events mostly. Not much else.
What about you, Strawberry?
I'm Strawberry Potato. I am a DJ, a dancer, a partier. I'm a world builder. I run events. I did at various clubs, both furry and non-furry. Always doing something. Always busy.
Always busy, always at the dance floor and the decks. Yeah, parties can be awesome and a great way of finding community. At least that was my introduction. When I was about to not get a catch with the platform at all, I jumped into a random party world, and all of a sudden there were people helping me out and catching a grab. But we're not here to talk about beautiful party scene in VRChat. We're here to talk about avatars. Avatars exist in many forms, and since longer than most of you probably think of. Back in the days, with the ages of the first internet-driven direct communication protocols, the MUX and the first ICRs, you had a username. The username in the first place was sometimes even limited to just a few characters, but these were the first forms of avatars, right? You choose a username, and this is who you are online. And nowadays, we express ourselves, we avatarize ourselves in many different ways. Is that in a game where we pick a predefined role? Is it in an MMORPG with some customization features that we tune to our likings? Or be it our Instagram account, which is also, in the end, just a way of expressing ourselves and creating an extension of our real-life self. So, a lot of interesting questions emerging from the topic that we want to explore. Well, flat-screen avatars have already been a very great resource of exploration of self, and lots of people getting inspired of that. But the fact that we all are immersed here, it creates so much different dynamic, and this is what we're going to explore a little bit. So, we're going a little bit back and forth. We're going to start with the question of what and where was your first avatar that you memorized being really feeling like an avatar of your own, identifying with it? What platform and where it was, what was that avatar, and how is your avatar now? Where was the journey going? Ultimate Engineer.
And I don't really have an avatar before. I really liked, like, outside of VRChat, well, besides this one. Which is, yeah. There isn't much to tell there.
Is this your first avatar, or have you switched in between?
No, like, I have switched avatars a few times here in VRChat, like a few of my own and then some public.
Strawberry, what was your first avatar?
I'm 46, so my first avatar was in 1994 in text, on Furry Muck and Tapestries. I started as a fox. I became a dragon a couple years later. I was a dragon until maybe 2006 or so. whenever Spirited Away came out. And then I was a noodle dragon until COVID and VRChat. And then I looked in the mirror for the first time in 3D, and it was like, wow, there is so much more here. And I became a protogen at that point. That was the end of 2020.
Yeah, well, I myself, I'd say the first avatar that I was really vibing with was probably my little bit customized Skyrim avatar. I spent a lot of time with that. And then also the next step for me will be VRChat. I just first opened it, scrolled around, found a nice bunny avatar. Been playing that for maybe 2 weeks and then got into this one. It's actually hard to change. I've been thinking a lot about changing avatars, but then it doesn't feel right because I got so comfortable in here. Which leads to the next thingy. Understanding your avatar, being in your avatar. How have your interactions or your experience in virtual reality, what you mentioned, seeing it in 3D, have your experiences in virtual reality influenced your understanding and acceptance and evolution of your own identity? Strawberry first?
Oh, jeez. Well, as a trans woman, seeing alternate form that was more in line with my mental perception was mind-blowing, was revolutionary. It changed everything. It changed everything about me. It changed the way I thought about myself. And it opened all of these doors. Suddenly I had this visual expression, this way to visualize not just a different body type, different gender, but different clothing style, different accessory, different motions and actions. And it's all here, all customizable. So it changed everything about it. Changed everything.
What's your experience, Indy?
Yeah, it has very much changed me. Like before, I didn't think about that I wanted to be a woman, female. But just seeing the avatar, just move the way you do with full body, it just made me realize.
You've told me before that you always picked female avatars in any game, but then I hear VRChat was the point. Turning, huh?
Yes, like I've always picked female avatars. Like, I didn't think about it because I didn't really think it as me. It was just a character on a screen. But this is me.
And make a difference
in here.
Yeah. At this point, this is why I'm looking down a little bit. I want to make a little quote of Mark Steven Meadows, who wrote the book I, Avatar in 2008, giving a little bit of perspective of time of Second Life. And already there were concepts explored. And I found a really nice quote to build on top of. So I quote, "Most of all, I found the avatar to be a machine that is attached to the psychology of its user. From within that machine, the driver can peek out and find a new world. And oddly, the driver can also look into themselves, as if gazing into his navel and finding a new landscape inside as well." By Steve Meadows, I, Avatar 2008. So weird here that, and I copy that from personal experience, an avatar, especially when you're immersed in your avatar and your real life self, interact and influence each other. Do you have the same feeling, and in what ways has your virtual identity influenced your real life perception or whatever else? Whoever is first.
Okay. Yeah, it's before VRChat, at least Avatar didn't change me. Yeah, as I said, it's the character, but in here, it's me, and I never really had a guy avatar, so just made me realize that I wanted to be a woman.
For me, yeah, that totally rings true. I mean, in like 1994, when you're doing this in text, you built this stuff in your head. It all depended on the imagination. We would describe it, you would have a description, you'd go in, you'd type look super fluff, and it would be a verbal description or a written down description of what you look like. The closer you could get, the more concise you could get, the more the idea you could build in your head. But at the same time, you're in there thinking, well, how do I want to be? Who do I want to be? What's my backstory? What am I doing? And that sort of stuff, personally, especially when I was a noodle dragon, I went and researched mythology around dragons and Chinese dragons. And I learned a whole lot about Chinese mythology and philosophies and stuff because they're all like noodled in between for all of that. So I learned a whole lot, not just about myself, who I wanted to be, but about the world around me. And it also opened me up to other people who were those same characters. So there was this whole sharing of knowledge and sharing of ideas and idealizations. And as far as how it has affected me, like I said earlier, it gave me a different idea of gender, of who I am, and things that I can wear and present myself. But it also, especially with VRChat, it's given me confidence, because when in the text adventure, or even in like Second Life, which I actually skipped, the complexity freaked me out at the time. Now I'm with Unity, Blender, and Substance Painter, whatever. But you're still behind a screen. When you're in here, you look down and you see who you could be. You see this mental perception, and it makes everything way more real. The possibilities are just like, it's like that meme. There's like a galaxy coming out of your head. It opens up everything, and of course that carries into life beyond VR. How could it not?
Well, I discovered accidentally, just last month, I was thinking about it, that I totally changed my hairstyle after 2 years of VRChat playing, 2 years being in this avatar. Now, oopsie, my hair looks like my avatar's hair. It was not intended, it just happened to be this way. Well, then there's other parts where, for example, the goggles I wear sometimes, boop, 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 expressions, oh, don't get the wrong ones. Do we have them? Yeah, these racing goggles are basically transported from what I like to wear on party in real life. So there we have the influence of both worlds on each other. Then also what you said about being a bit more immersed and everything. How's the experience with community in here? How's the experience with living and creating yourself and the perception and evolving with others?
Although, I did want to add on to you're pulling things in from real life, though. I modeled my own bit, though.
Nice, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's great because here in VRChat, like the community is very open. It's just normal to say yes, you she her pronouns or he him. It's just normal.
Do you have a notable experience when you were first having thought of like, oh wow, this is amazing? Like,
yeah. When I first with my friend group, first just to test out the she/her pronouns. Just 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. Just yes, after a party in VRChat. Just got into another instance, another world, and then like I was slowly dying inside. I was just trying to I'm gonna switch to she/her pronouns. I just and then like thought it was the end of the world, but no. Like, yes, it's just yes, I'm happy for you. And he's yeah, huh? That's it.
It's a beautiful story. I had the same when I was approaching some really tough-looking avatars, being in the same space with them. Me being a fluffy cat, I was a little bit scared. We got into a conversation, and it turned out that we're the nicest guys ever, but it didn't seem like it. But they were totally treating me all right, and that was a click moment for me. And now I even go into when I take a job or something, and we have first contact. Depending on how the job is structured, I go in with my avatar and say, hi, fine. And most of the time, people are like, cool, you know what you're doing. Sorry, do you have also like a clicking point story from VRChat on terms of community?
Well, like engineer said, it's all open. Everybody's like so accepting of who we are. And to me, this is who I am. To you, that's who you are. You look in the mirror and it's like, that's me. Or at least that's who I want to be, and that's who I am in my mental image. But more than that, who we are in here, because we have body language, because we have vocal nuance, translates directly to the world beyond, what I call meat space. Because to me, it's, you say real life, well, this is real too. To me, this is very real. We're here, we're present. All of our presentation is right here in this point in time. So when you step outside of VR, it's seamless. The people are the same, they move the same, they talk the same. They are the same. Whether they have fur, whether they have robot parts, or they're 20 feet tall, or they're 2 inches tall, they're the same. And I've been going to conventions for since 1997. And doing messengers, doing text communication, it's a bit different. You don't get the vocal nuance. You don't get the voice. You don't get the motion, the body language. You don't get that. You get just what people present themselves as at the moment as it's going through their heads. In here, it's more natural. You see how we move. You see who we are. And the transition is just... It's comforting. It's comforting because you know that if whoever you meet in here, if you ever meet them outside, they're going to accept you exactly as they do in here.
Copy that. All my experiences with meeting people from VRChat in the last year was absolutely amazing. And even to the point where you can identify a person through body language from a distance and be like, well, that looks familiar. And realizing, oh yeah, it is you. So, and what you said, every experience is real. We are experiencing something here. It's part of our memories, very good memories, to be honest. And that alone makes it real. Apart from that, this is all also somehow physical. Taking it a little bit too far. It's a topic covered in literature. But yeah,
it's a danger.
What I want, it needs to be handled well. I see it more as an extension of the possibilities for humanity, right? It's not going to replace anything, but it gives us new opportunities to socialize, to be ourselves, to do other stuff, right? And this is just an extension of what humanity can be like. And this is something I hope I can inspire people to with this talk, with your perspectives on it. And that is, if we are able to truly create ourselves, truly able to create our own avatars, not being bound to building boxes and presets, but if everybody is able to make a world that they imagine, if everybody is able to create an avatar that they imagine, this is a spirit we need to carry on, because this is reality and we're shaping it right now. So, I haven't looked at the time right. Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, we are absolutely very talky. So, closing things. One important thing about virtual universes at all. Is there something you would like in the future? Something you would change? Just a very quick, pointy thingy for virtual universes of all kinds in the future.
I would love a full dive, you know, just take me in there and make everything like stimulated brain memory or whatever. Get in there and scramble my neurons so that it's like, oh, I can actually feel this stuff. But failing that, I would think people really need to get on, developers, hardware developers really need to get on the ball and put working face and eye tracking and integrate that stuff in here because that's a missing dimension. And I've used eye tracking and face tracking before, and looking in the mirror, it's like, what is happening? And my brain just started malfunctions because it's like, oh, something's wrong here. It's just a little too far. It's too real now. It's too real. But I want that. And haptics. We need more haptics. Give us more haptics so we can feel things. So we can actually feel stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes, haptics. The haptics right now. Yeah, there is haptics, like haptic gloves, and it is, yeah. It's just not there.
Need more.
Yes.
It is coming. Okay, to wrap it up, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you could get a bit of inspiration and just come over, say hi. VRChat, if you can, grab a headset. It's not needed. You just try it out on flat screen. Choose an avatar, build an avatar. Come say hello, go party, express yourselves, right? We can be everything in here. And I think this is part of the core beliefs of Pride, right? Well, we have Pride now. And here, we are even more freely to express ourselves. So I'm really happy to be here. And thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Strawberry Potato. Thank you, Ultimate Engineer, for your perspective in sharing your stories. It's been lovely. Well, maybe somebody will come over and say hello. I say goodbye for now. See you online. A little bit of after roll. Dab. Fortnite dances. Let's go.